Hello and welcome into a special edition of the Podski. I am your host, John Baker, and I've been saying for weeks that I was going to get Allison back on the show, and Allison is back,
Hey guys.
and we are not alone. We have Taylor and Alan are with us today as well.
Hello, hello, hello.
And we are doing a special episode because we are absolutely hooked on Vanderpump Rules. It is something that Allison and I've been watching for years. I can't remember when we even started it, but it's been a while.
When we moved in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
it's been way pre-pandemic. Like
Yeah.
we started what, season 4?
No,
3?
I don't know.
It's been a while, and I know that Taylor, you've been watching. Taylor and Alan, you guys have been watching
Yeah.
for a long time
I think
as well.
what was ours, like the pandemic?
I think it was, yeah,
I
the
think that's when
pandemic.
we
Mm.
started. Like that
Mhm.
was like our comfort show was
Yeah.
PPR.
Yeah, and this show has been insane. It's one of our favorite shows that we watch every year, and we have there's no way, if you're a fan of the show, there was no way that we can't talk about Scandoval and
Oh, yeah.
everything that's gonna happen this season. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna just review the reunion and give our thoughts and opinions and what we think is gonna happen in parts 2 and 3. We're probably gonna definitely come back in and do a part 2 and a part 3 review. And it's, who knows, this could even turn into a Real Housewives show too, because
Oh my
we're
god.
Bravo.
That would be amazing.
because we are deep into that as well. So but yeah, what are your thoughts of like this reunion, Taylor and Alan? Like it's wild.
I I have 6 pages here of no. I was telling Allison today at work, I feel like I could be like a court stenographer. Like I was like just going like, but crazy, just crazy. But it gets me. I'm very excited for the next episodes. Like I don't think this is like the best part of the reunion yet. Like I think we're gonna get the better parts in 2 and 3. But it makes me excited though. Like it's what do you think, Alan?
I'm excited to see what else is going to come out once Raquel comes on. I think that they're going to
Yeah.
have, you know
Yeah.
what, the next like half episode is going to be her
Yeah,
to start
that's
off
kind of what we
with.
were thinking.
And then Raquel is
Yeah.
going to come in like halfway through the next episode and all the way to that third episode. So having her on is going to be interesting to see what all the timelines match up, considering how they were having
Yeah.
trouble with the timeline.
Or lack
that
thereof.
first one.
Yeah.
Lack of matching. Yeah, what about you guys? What were your thoughts?
I was shocked with how much information, or I guess not information, but how much they actually showed us in the beginning, which makes me more excited, because the previews that made me feel like those were the big things. And I was like, they're not going to give us that until the end. They want us to watch all of these. So like now I am like, okay, they already gave that to us. So who even knows like what is coming next? I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the fact that it started hot and it was heavy, like out of the gates. Like
Yeah.
that's what I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to be like kind of everyone would be pretty mellow in the beginning, just trying to feel each other out. But
I thought they'd dance around it a little bit.
that's what
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you. Yeah, I thought they were going to dance around it, and they
Yeah.
did no dancing. They literally
Yeah.
just went right
Elephant in the
into it.
room. Yeah. Like just
Yeah,
get
I was
it.
like not anticipating like just the pure like venom that was coming out of everybody on the left side of the
Oh, yeah.
show.
But it was
Yeah.
hurt feelings too. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
they were angry, but like there was pain there. And like
Right.
say what you want, James making jokes, like I totally and it was funny, but like that's coming, I think, from a hurt place for him.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's his like shield. And
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
James was an MVP last night. Like he cracked a lot of jokes for me. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, he's been the MVP of the season for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he was on one last night. Like he showed out.
Yeah.
He was in
Yeah.
prime form last night.
Yeah. Between him and Lala, I was like, oh man, like just go for it. Like
Well, like Lala coming right out of the gates, right at
Yeah.
Lisa, which I
Right.
want to talk
Mhm.
about Lisa
oh
because
yes.
I think that
Problematic.
yeah, It's very problematic. I couldn't believe the way that Lala went right at Lisa, like right away. Like
She needed it.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like that's like Lala's way of like healing too from like what all she went through too. It's like not only am I gonna rip him a new one, but I'm gonna like I'm just gonna go for every like blood. Like I'm just going for it. And
when she said like Lisa was like, well, that's my opinion. And she said, I reject it. Lisa left her mouth open.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, she got you. I was like, you're not even shutting your mouth right now. And like, I had like a little celebration for Lala in that moment because I was like, you know what? Good for you. After she sat her down on her couch and was like, didn't you see the sign? Like, she had it coming for her.
Yeah. That was definitely that was a big moment for Lala for sure. Like the flies were flying out of Lisa's mouth as that happened.
Oh yeah. And I also wrote down like their looks. James had the best suit. Not that that's like not that any of this is like important, but like I was just like, and I feel like Katie can do better with her dresses too. Not that it's like with Scandoval, but like
I feel like we always say that about Katie. Like she could do better.
Yeah.
It's like she tries, but she doesn't. Like if she just tried just a little bit.
I honestly think though, for her, like it's an insecurity thing, which makes me sad. Like I feel like I do that too, where it's like sometimes you just want to pick the safe route because you just want to sit there and you don't want to think about which way you're sitting. But like I really do think that if she just like stepped out of her comfort zone, like she would look so good. But she just doesn't go there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Ariana 8. Everything.
Obviously.
It was amazing.
Obviously. Sheena, not bad. You know, LVP obviously needs to get a new look. It's just the same shit, different years. Like
I feel like it was like dress up. Grandma. Like what was all that on the arm? I don't
lacy, something bedazzled. Like it's just it's getting old. Like
it's been played out.
Yeah. The bottom of Sheena's dress was weird for me. Looked like a seashell or something. I don't
I can understand that.
I just didn't get that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, but yeah, you were saying about James though. I wrote down as many quotes of this as I could because they were the best. Obviously
they really were.
Tweedledee and Tweedledee.
Yeah.
Wait, can I say like?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, obviously Tweedledee and Tweedledick. I mean, that was fantastic. And like,
who do you think he was referring to? Like which one?
Oh well, I think Tweedledick is Sandoval.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sandoval,
and then I think and then Schwartz being like, "Am I Tweedledee?" Like
he was really stuck on that.
And then Katie's just like rolling her eyes, just like, oh, like I don't have time for your nonsense.
We should get the Schwartz. We should get the Schwartz once you're finished with your quotes.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, the other ones was just like, obviously, like his, whenever Sandoval was apologizing and was like, I love you, and I apologize, and James just like, that didn't hit for me.
Yes.
Like,
it was amazing.
Like, I wasn't even listening. I was like, oh my gosh. You two, they remind me of just like two besties in the back of a classroom that like just can't stop like cackling at like anything. Like they just get hooked on something and then just like can't stop, and they're so funny together. Like
I said they're kind of like the hecklers from like the Muppets, like the two old guys. That's what they reminded me of.
And then what else? Worm with a mustache. Whenever they got into their fight, and he's like, he said it first, Andy.
And then at one point, I don't remember where, but he just like out of nowhere, like you thought he was gonna calm down, and he changed his mind. He was like, "And your band sucks dick." And it was like, it was just like the most immature little, like, I'm going to get the last word. And it hit so well.
and like I'm going to be set for a timeout, and I'm getting a spank bottom. Like, oh my God.
As funny as that is, it also pissed me off because I was like, Lisa, just shut up. Like, if you're not going to tell Sandoval that he's wrong, don't sit here and tell James not to say certain words. Like,
exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, look at the big picture.
Right. And like you said too, like Sandoval, like even like deflecting and like trying to change the stuff, like skirting around questions and stuff too. Like him and Schwartz both. It's like, okay, like I don't know. It just doesn't. Yeah, you can't go for one side of the room and not also go for Tom and Tom.
And I kind of thought that like Lisa in that moment too, she thought that she could. This is the problem with Lisa that we've been noticing over the last like season and a half is that Lisa thinks that she has full control and she thinks that even if Andy can't get it under control, she can get it under control. And then she quickly realized she had no control last night and like it happened quick.
She literally told James, "You're gonna go to your dressing room if you don't stop." And I was like, "Okay,
yeah, boys."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm gonna go pee." Like,
right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what did the producer say when he was coming back? Use your words, not your fists.
Yes, yes, like woo saw with me right now.
Yeah.
Unreal. But yeah, like so like I wrote down in my notes about Schwartz and the kind
We're
of
very upset with Schwartz.
I was very upset with Schwartz.
Yeah.
Schwartz, I'm at such a crossroads with Schwartz right now
Yeah.
because he's one of those people where like you want to like him so bad, and then like it's just like he just doesn't do it the right way. Like if he would have, when he did his whole spiel last night, if he would have presented that with a little bit more anger maybe in his voice at Sandoval, it would have probably came off a lot better. But he is just like a dog chasing a cat. Like whenever he speaks, like he's just trying to catch up to the cat, and when he gets to it, he's like
scared to say it.
Scared to say like he doesn't say it. And then he says it without saying it. And it's like it's really frustrating because I want to like Schwartz so much. And if
Randall calls it the Schwartz shuffle in season 9, and that is it's such a good way to describe it.
Yes, that is exactly right. Like it frustrated me last night because he could have pulled himself out of the weeds and got out of it, but like he just sunk deeper last night. Like I don't know how Schwartz gets out of this, and we can talk about this a little bit in our predictions, like at the end for the rest of it, because Allison has one. Yeah, but I just felt that Schwartz came off so poorly.
What do you guys think he knew or didn't know? Like how much do you think he knew and when?
Do you want to go?
Well, I was gonna say I definitely. So before this started, I was really convinced that like he didn't know until what was it, mid to late January. That's what they were all saying. And I was like, it didn't make sense considering he's such a loose cannon, kind of loose lip kind of guy. That if they let him know earlier, he would just let it go and just wouldn't really think of it.
Slip.
Yeah, he just wouldn't think of it when he said something.
Right.
But he said that he knew back in August that he knew they had already hooked up. Yeah. So at this point, anything that he had built up or some sort of like plausible deniability that he had, I think is gone at this point.
Right.
But you're right though, because we found out later that he is letting it slip throughout the season. So you are right that he's going to do that.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Like, but then he tries to be like, well, whether it was consciously or subconsciously, like, no, Schwartz, like you for sure, like we're letting it go. Yeah. And no, I believe him when he said last night, like I knew in August, and I mean it. Now, if stuff happened before August, I don't know, like between Tom and Raquel, like if it comes out that it was longer than before August that this was all going on, I do think though that Schwartz did find out though in August. Like I do believe it when he says that because I went back in my phone and I was looking at the dates or something.
Yeah. It's like he got scared that they were gonna be like, okay, give it here and go over it. But like I could not figure out why whenever he said late August, why Sandoval reacted. I was like, just shush. And I'm like, he literally though, I think, this is my opinion, I think he like is so in love with Schwartz and just like needs that little puppet that he doesn't want people to change their opinion about Schwartz. And I think he was like, you need to lie and I'm going to help you lie and we're going to get you through this.
Right.
and you're gonna pull me back up with you. And like Schwartz was like, no, like we're screwed no matter what we do. We're done.
Right.
And so he was like, we're just going down, the ship's already sunk, so we're going with it.
Yeah. Now, do you think he coached him? Okay, like how they were saying, like, oh well, Tom and Raquel, like Tom was coaching Raquel before the reunion, which like I fully believe. Like, do you think there was also a coaching session with Schwartz? And do you think Schwartz just like went off the rails and was like, fuck you, like I'm gonna say what I want to say? Or do you think he forgot like what the coaching was said?
I think that okay, one, how well can he be coached? Like you've seen like when people try to have a serious conversation with him, he like crocodiles in the Nile. He's like over here. So like I'm sure that Sandoval probably tried, and I'm sure that at the same time Schwartz is probably like, I mean, I'm probably not gonna say that. And like, do you really I don't know. Right. And so like it was probably left like Sandoval thinking he's going to say what I coached him to say, and Schwartz thinking I don't want to do that, and he knows that, so we're good.
Right.
And, it was just a mess because they're never on the same page.
Right.
Well, I guess I think that I definitely think that he was talked to on what to say, and I feel he got like me, like when you're in a position where you're not supposed to say something, and
Katie would call him out.
Right. So he just instantly turned into Happy Feet out there, and he was the duck on the pond. His so his face was like not calm, but the rest of his body was just telling you that
his foot,
he's stressed.
Like,
his foot was probably fluttering so fast he probably could have taken off like a helicopter.
Yeah. He was stressed. He was under distress.
He was. You could tell in his face, like you could tell that he was gonna start sweating soon. Like that's how uncomfortable he was.
What I think people don't understand though is like if you watch him, even if it has nothing to do with him, he's uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable all the time. I don't know why he even does the show. Like, don't want him to go anywhere because it's too entertaining. But like, he hates it. He hates the interviews. He hates all of it. He hates the fighting. He doesn't know what to do with his hands when they're fighting. And it's like, just either get with the program and just kind of get in it, or just go. Like,
He reminds me of every little kid when they see their parents fight. They don't know what to do. They just kind of stand there awkwardly. That's him the entire show.
Yeah. And he just like kind of like tries to run around like, oh, maybe if I'm over here it'll be less uncomfortable.
Hide behind the plant.
Goes
out into the alley.
Like, oh shit, they're always fighting out here.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. No. Ugh.
So I guess the only person that we left out on the right side of the show was Sheena. Because I figured we would start on the left and work our way to the right, or start away on the right and work to the left. I mean, I got my directions mixed up. Yeah, I know.
Another James quote though, if I can just like throw. I also enjoyed the booing. Just to say
that. The booing was so clever.
Yes, and the whole like whenever they were trying to like justify like or whenever Andy tried to make the point like everyone's cheated on here, and like I fully agree with James of being like, I was 21, you're a 40-year-old man, like get your shit together, like that you cannot even compare the two. It's
that, but
totally
like
different.
Okay, I'll compare that to something else. Say Jax punched Brittany in the face. That's awful. Say Sandoval punched Ariana in the face. Would we sit there and say, yeah, but Jax did it to Brittany a couple years ago, so like like, what are you? Why are you even talking about that? Like, Andy's so shitty for saying it, and I know he said it because that's probably what people are sending in. But like,
I thought that was a Lisa planted question, or Lisa planted quote, because
to try to make Tom look better, like to try to help him.
I know that I watched Ariana on Call Her Daddy, and she thinks that Lisa didn't know. But I have a hard time believing that, because Lisa knows everything. And she's business partners with these people. Like, she has to know
it's not about the business partners. She's on production. Like, she sees the raw footage. So,
right. She's executive producer. Like, she makes the decisions on what's being shown on television and what's not. So, like, I feel like Lisa has known for a long time, and I don't know if I want to throw Lisa under the bus like that, but like, I don't know how she can't know.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could, yeah.
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, finish what you were saying. Yeah. I do agree with you though. Like, yeah, go what were you finish your thought though?
It just feels like she's known for a
Yeah.
long time, and she's tried to paint this picture of Tom mainly for her own benefit too, because she needs them to
Mhm.
look great for their businesses. But she's helped them so much, and for like what? Like for this? And that's kind
Mhm.
of like it's almost like she's willing to die on is she willing to die on this hill? Like I think she
Right.
might be.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only disagreement I have is I think if that she knew about it, she would almost want it to be put on the show and not have it come out how many
Like you
months
think she would have
afterward. I think it
yeah.
would have come out either during the season or would have come out the next season that would have come out. It wouldn't have happened in between. Because then they had to, I think you said they tried to scramble and get a whole nother production company in.
Yeah,
Yes,
which
that's
doesn't
what
make
That
I
is a good
sense.
point though.
That's what I heard. I heard that they had to call in the housewives of
His point was if she knew about it, she would have gotten it on the show for ratings.
that. Yeah, that is true. I did hear that they had to. So yeah, I think now that you
That's a
made
really
that,
good point.
that is a really good
Yeah.
point, Alan.
Because I mean,
But
because I
yeah.
did hear that they had to call in a Beverly Hills, Real
Yeah.
Housewives of Beverly Hills like production team in to do that, to do the filming of the breakup in the house because
Right.
they had already were done filming.
Mhm.
Right.
So like
But I
that,
do agree with you though, John, because I like to a degree of like I think she knew something was going on, but like her fierce allegiance to Tom Sandoval, I mean both of the Toms, I think she knew it would have like destroyed him, destroyed businesses that she's involved in. So I think she probably suspected something was going on, but didn't maybe want to let anything slip, or maybe she didn't actively try to like push that narrative or try to dig anything out of it because of that, because it could have negatively affected her businesses maybe. But I do agree with you. I mean, I think they all had an inkling of something's not right here. Like
I mean, especially
whether they
for-
said it or not. Like
yeah, well, especially for the fact that Ken like just trotting into
I can't believe.
I can't believe that
Tom
Raquel-
Sandoval.
Tom Sandoval had Raquel in a hot tub
In the jacuzzi as
and the
well.
jacuzzi. Yeah, like that was. You know what? Ken can have his flowers for that one because
Yeah.
that was incredible. But like, that was totally non-believable what they were doing there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was fully
Yeah.
a Lisa staging.
Yeah.
Sheena. So was Sheena the one that did the restraining order against Raquel, or did Raquel do the restraining order against Sheena?
Raquel to Sheena.
Yeah.
Raquel to
Yeah.
Sheena. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Because she claims that she punched her in New York after Watch What Happens Live.
oh,
Did you not
that's
watch the
right.
finale?
Yeah.
I did. I forgot about how she
Oh.
said about how she had that
Well,
mark on
and-
her eyebrow.
Right. But Sheena can't make a fist, remember?
So if
That's
you look at
right.
well,
I think
physically
that Sheena probably shoved her head,
Yeah.
shoved her face, and she probably like did
Right.
scratch her. But like
Right.
I think that
Right.
the bruise and stuff on her eyelid and at her brow, that's bull.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
that was real at all. It looked like brown makeup next to some lighter brown makeup next to light tan makeup.
Right.
So
Yeah,
stupid.
it didn't look good.
Yeah. No, I agree. And one, she kind of even like alluded to that, like whenever they had that conversation at
Mhm.
Ariana's house, like she's so upset and she's like, I did just shove her, like I just like couldn't be around her. And it's like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, and like that, it's like she probably didn't intentionally like do anything to hurt her, but like she probably just fell into a wall or
Yeah.
something.
Well, also just the way the skin tore in that little kind of like C pattern. If you're gonna get punched in the face, it's not gonna tear like that
No.
normally. That's
Right.
almost like the nail digging into it from her shoving her, not someone getting
Yes.
punched in the face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, that was good call, Alan.
yeah, that was good. Yeah. I
With
agree.
Sheena, like I was watching someone like analyze the cast and they were talking
Body language.
No, just like their behavior and their cycles and stuff. And like when I first watched it, I was like, okay, why is Sheena like that upset? Like she needs to calm down. I personally have to like pull myself back with Sheena because I feel like she just always needs attention. But like I watched this behavior analyst and she was like, Sheena has no boundaries. And so she put everything into this relationship with Raquel. I mean, she said that she like rented a house for her to stay in or whatever. And like was her ride or die, did everything with Raquel at the wedding, no matter what anybody asked her to do. And she looked like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Like Raquel made her look so stupid.
Right.
And just like everything she did for her didn't matter. And I was like, oh, like Raquel, like she's heartbroken over this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like she's that upset. And I was like, oh,
Right.
that makes me so much more sad. Like watching it now and looking at it that way, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with
Well, and
Sandoval.
you're right. And even like what she was saying, like at the end, like with Katie, like when she was saying, like, I believed everything she said. Like it was the Bible. Like everything that Raquel said. And because she had previous experiences with Katie and Lala, that she felt like she had to have this strict allegiance with Raquel. But yeah, no, I
liked the conversation between Sheena and Katie. Like I liked that exchange.
Yeah.
I thought that was productive.
Yeah. I think it's I'm not sure if they are fully ever gonna move on, like, and be obviously like close friends, but I think it was like a good conversation though, like you said. Like it was a good effort that was taken. Yeah. Where else? Obviously also I had like the bringing up Kristen and all of them just being like, shut up, like you can't bring it up, like booing him again and everything. But like that whole conversation, I was like, that was also something that was crazy because it's like you can't even compare the two. Like you can't compare what you had with Kristen with what you had with Ariana. I mean, first of all, they're different people, and second of all, like you and Kristen had your issues. You guys did cheat on each other. You guys were kind of just like toxic for each other that we saw throughout the seasons that they were together. And then it's like you and Ariana, it was different. And also like I love what Lala said, like we fuck random strangers when we're not exclusive, but when we're in committed relationships, that's when we fuck the best friend. Like what a quote. Like
because he doesn't even know what he's defending. Like he's so defensive. He's confused about what he's even saying. And it's like, just shut up.
Right. Yeah. Right. And the other thing that I had here about Kristen, and I had watched another show that Jax was on, and he was like, if you wanted to get on the show, the weak link was always Kristen. And that's how you got in the friend group.
Right.
So like I think that it's even heightened even more that Kristen is the weakest link in the show, where all of this, like if you wanted to get into the show, you just went through Kristen to get to it.
Yeah, because you and I didn't realize that that's how Joe kind of
I didn't
think that.
Yeah. Well, and even like that even kind of comes up at the end of the episode where it was like oh well, you just like slept with Kristen to just get on the show, like, and James was like, and you and I even talked about it, like, no, like she slept with James to get back at Tom, like and that was so obvious, like in that season, like she was just doing it out of spite, like it wasn't him. I mean, maybe they were mutually beneficial from that, but still, I mean, it wasn't
and like
James.
Even if so, I mean, who cares? Like,
right.
Who cares?
It's a moot point. Yeah.
Sandoval has done way worse things to get way less attention.
Right.
So,
right.
He just needs to stop pointing fingers.
Right. And deflecting. It's just the whole episode is lack of accountability, deflecting, and like trying to bring up old history, like Lala said, like stop bringing out the history books. We're not talking about Kristen. We're not talking about something from 10 years ago. Like, we're talking about you guys now and the bullshit that you just pulled now. Like, that's what shitty. Like,
yeah, he doesn't realize that he's already the loser. Like, you have lost. there is no stake in this game for you anymore.
Right.
This is not your trial. This is your sentencing. Like
Right.
now we're deciding
Yes.
how long we're going to hate you, or like,
Yes.
will we ever even be able to see you on TV without
Right.
being like, click? Like that's what we're
Yeah.
doing now. It's not,
Yeah.
maybe he's good, maybe he's not.
Yeah, that's the ship's
Right.
already sailed. And some of the other things that I heard that Jax was talking about, because like when you hear Jax, you instantly like like the hair on the back of your neck stands up because
Yeah.
you know Jax did some pretty shitty things over the years. Like
Yeah.
we're not going to exclude Jax from anything, but
For sure.
Jax like he really sounded like he was sincere and truthful, which he's charming, and that absolutely helps to it. But it sounded like he like is turned a different page over in his life right now. And
I don't know about that, but Sandoval was a shitty friend to Jack.
right. So like Jax was just like letting all this stuff out on this podcast that I was watching. And I don't know if it's going to come out yet. So I don't want to spoil it for any of the listeners or anything else that happens in possibly part 2 and 3. But
you can spoil it. Just give a warning.
So, okay, well then here it is. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear, yeah, just pause it. Pause it.
Fast forward 30 seconds.
Yeah, just fast forward 30 seconds. Jack said that whenever he was leveraging the house and he was taking out loans from the house to support the bar, and he is well over like he has so much tied up in these loans for the bar that like they might not even own the house. Like the house might go away. And that he owes so many people so much money right now. And he's dragging Ariana with him.
Yeah, I could believe that. I mean, just the freaking Rochella alone, like that was how much money. Like whether or not he pulled that money from his house or not. I mean, so it's
20,
like,
I think he did.
Like $20,000 to $25,000.
It was
like
$25,000, but I went back and rewatched that. And if you like watch it episode by episode in order, he gets this like small business loan, I think, for like 50,000 or something. And then he's writing these checks and they're just coming out. And it's like, wait a second, you just got that money. And like Schwartz even asked him, you didn't use money for the bar, right? And Sandoval's like, well, I mean, yeah, kind of. Like,
oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Responsible. That's good.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he gets his band. And it's just like the same pattern over and over. It's like he gets a huge thing going in his life and he's so scared he's going to screw it up that he goes and purposely screws it up.
Yeah.
Right. And even what you were saying with like I would also like believe that because it was like Ariana said on Call Her Daddy, like about wanting to be financially independent and like having her own house and like but she was really kind of focusing on the financial independence. And I'm like, that does make me wonder though, if that is like a big issue that's going on right now that they're having to sort out.
And
because
she doesn't do anything.
Right.
Like if you think about it, like he's the one with the hobbies, he's the one with all the things, he's probably the one spending all the money, and she's at home like, well, I gotta save something because he's not going to.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that she was paid to stay. They were paid like sponsored to stay at the house. Was another thing she said on Call Her Daddy too.
What do you mean?
She was sponsored to not move out, to stay.
Oh.
And I don't know if that was for
That's
filming
kinda
or not.
sick.
I think I missed that part.
Oh.
But
Ew.
yeah.
And how about him like being so disgusting, like throwing baby fits, like whenever they were like when it first happened, and he was like, "I'm not leaving," and like yelling at her friends when like her friends, like at least that's what she talked about, like on her Call Her Daddy, and like I think she mentions it too, like on the uncut or the like longer versions of the Peacock episode that just came out, like about how just awful he was being afterwards. And I love what Lala said too, of like comparing him to Randall. Like Randall was never home, never around, always out doing things and fucking around. But then the moment the house of cards crumbles and like your your world is imploding, now you're being the narcissist who won't leave, like and you're trying to manipulate the situation and just like be around and yell at everyone and make her feel bad and shame everybody, like trying to like grasp at straws. And it's like, you need to stop. Like
yeah,
I feel like we got a little like glimpse of what Ariana was talking about in the way that he was throwing the fit when she said, I don't like when they were on the couch and they were
Right.
having their like fight right after she found out. And she said to him, like, I don't care about your friendship. Like, it's not a deep
It's not
friendship.
real.
Yeah. And she raises her voice and he tries to come back at her. And the way his body language, the way he's holding his arms and the way he like yells,
I mean, he stands up
like,
and he like stands
and it's like
over
in
her.
his throat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He just is the poster child for the boy who cheats on you and then like sits there and cries and hits himself because you're like reacting to the fact that he's an awful person.
Right. Exactly.
It was just so gross. Like when she said he gives me the ick, I was like, yeah, no. Like it's permanently on him now.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that, Allison, because she talked about that on Call Her Daddy, and she said that conversation, it looks like it was like a 15 to 25-minute conversation. She said that conversation was like 3 hours long.
Yeah,
I want to see all of it.
I know.
So bad.
I know.
Yeah.
She said there was way worse things that they said to each other that like will never make air, but she's like, there was so many bad things that they said to each other in that, like, if they would air it, like, they won't, but they should.
They should seriously monetize and like sell copies.
For sure. That's what I heard somebody another podcast say that. They said
I don't care.
Yeah, literally another podcast was saying that, like, with the whole, like, even just the reunion alone, they were like, I would pay any amount of money to watch the 6 to 10 hour
you can have my
uncut
firstborn
copy.
I don't care.
Yeah.
They should just do the CTV cut of it. Like every single camera should be available.
Literally, yes.
Like, and you should just go to a website and you'd be able to click like you're at the zoo, like you're watching a live cam at the zoo. You should be able to just click on that and watch like the pandas today. Like
yeah. Even little trailer trash in her trailer watching her version of the reunion.
The other weird thing, since like I'm the geography nerd here, the one thing that I found incredibly interesting, and this means nothing for the podcast, but I just want to do this. I had like they live in Lala and Sheena live in Palm Springs.
He got on Google Maps last night
because like I was just in LA for WrestleMania, so like I was trying to like get my bearings on where everything was, because like they do everything in West Hollywood and I wasn't in West Hollywood. I was in just regular Hollywood. So I was like trying to figure out where everything was, and I like everything is so much more spread out than what I thought. I thought like everything was a lot more closer than that, but it completely wasn't.
Yeah.
And like the fact that like where they filmed the reunion was like 3.5 hours from like
Sir, wasn't it Sir?
Oh no, so like where Sheena and Lala live is like 2.5 hours away from Sir. Like it was an absurd amount away. Like I didn't realize like how far that was, because like I hadn't like whenever I was there I was trying to figure out like where everything was.
Yeah.
And like I just had no like frame of reference, and I looked it up last night as we were watching the reunion, and I was like, why is everything so far apart here? Like
yeah.
All right, that was John's geography minute, but
well, and even like Schwartz and Sandy's, did you see how like I mean I haven't seen it, but I've heard like Sir, Tom, even the new sandwich shop is all like pretty locationally speaking, like pretty close together. Like if you were a VPR fan and you went to like LA, you could easily hit up Sir, Tom, Pump when Pump was still open. Like you could hit up all of these restaurants all together. But like Schwartz and Sandy's is like off in no man's land. Like it is such like an inconvenient spot to go to, and it's like that feels good. Like that makes me feel good. That like
and the rent's still sky high.
yeah.
That was another thing. That was another thing that Jack said. He was like, he said he went the one night and he said there was like 5 people there.
I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know if I believe it either.
There's only 5 people at a bar.
Yeah, I know.
And with like this West going on right now, because I don't think they're having problems with people coming in. I think they're having problems with people spending money.
Yeah, because people are just coming in. Yeah.
And people are like, just trying to like check it out.
Yeah, people
are not buying stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going and buying something about her sweatshirts and everything else.
Yeah.
Right. Also, I did like when they were talking about the restaurant that it like, like we're finally serving food and everything, and then like it cuts to the first images of a fucking corn dog. Like I'm sorry, but like that's just silly. Like what? Like that's the first like a fancy corn dog with like a little garnish on the plate. Like that's so silly.
It was so bad.
And then and then to see their body language, they went into full poo-poo mode whenever
Yes.
like they were pouty McPouty pants whenever whenever they were talking about something about her and like how great it was and how much money they made off the merch, and then like if they panned over to Tom and like they just were like melting in their seat, like we're on timeouts officially.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, because they said they made 200,000, so they made it. So they probably that means that they also probably covered what all they spent on making the stuff too.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it sounds like that's just all net.
Yeah.
That's 200 net.
Yeah, so they made 200.
Yeah.
They probably actually made more because they probably paid for it all. That's actually a good call.
Yeah, and like
Right.
I didn't know that they were doing that merch. Do you know how much money they probably made yesterday? Once, because I'm sure even like, I mean, we watch a lot of it. I didn't know that they were doing that, and now I know. Like, I'm like, I want one of those. So I'm sure a lot of other people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna look that up and pay a lot even
for
more."
sure, definitely.
Right. Yeah. And even like a Schwartz saying like he wanted it to be a cozy dive bar. Like, what the fuck is what even?
What is a cozy dive bar?
That's what he wanted it to be. I don't even think Schwartz wanted to do it. I don't
think he did either.
Right. Well, and that was one of the things on like the deleted scenes, or not the deleted scenes. Why did I say that? The Peacock scene, the Peacock episode, where like, I think I texted Allison about it. Like, like, was it worth it? Was Schwartz and Sandy's worth it? Like, that was Andy's question to them, and like Schwartz was like again doing his Schwartz dance and everything, and like freaking like LVP was just like, what did she say? Like, make a decision, you get off the fence, which is up your ass, and actually say something that has some weight behind it. Like, she like won it. I mean, everybody was like, whoa, LVP, like, okay. But
I can see how like everybody is like just had enough with this because they're skirting around the questions way too much and they just want answers.
Right. And then like even whenever Schwartz goes to like kind of answer it, he's still like, well, I don't want to scapegoat the bar, but then like, yeah, it did put strain on our relationship, and Kitty's just like, you didn't prioritize me, and he's like, well, it was by necessity, and she's like, what the fuck, like, I was your wife, like what is that, what, like, no. That's no excuse. I don't know.
He didn't pay attention to her before the bar
ever. Yeah. No.
Yeah, and I'm so mad at Schwartz because I want to like him so badly.
Yeah.
I'm just so disappointed.
Oh, how about the glamping comment? Whenever they were going through the timeline and Sheena was like, did you know before or after glamping? And he's like, yeah, I knew before. And then it cut to the scene whenever he was like sitting at the table saying like, oh, like everybody watch out for Raquel, like she has a type. And they're like, what's the type? Oh, like men who are taken. And it's like, Schwartz, that is low down. Like that you're sitting there at the table with people that you know, like, you know, all of this has gone on, whether it's like serious at that point or whether it was just a one night stand at that point. Regardless, you're sitting there and you choose to make that comment. Like that was low. That was real shitty. Like, I did not.
I was
not like
hand over mouth. Sat there for like 5 minutes in disbelief. My cards. I lost my cards. I think I stopped taking notes after that.
My cards.
My
cards.
I was just like,
I've never seen somebody so upset that they lost their cards. Like Andy, I felt like Andy was trying to take the spotlight back for a minute. Like, oh, my cards.
But then Schwartz laughed about it. Like, he still kind of laughed about it, and I was like, "You're kind of sick at this point." Like, and shrunk shoulders. Like, no, like that's really bad that you just did that, and that's what's so wrong is that they don't even know that they're being so awful, and it's like, oh man, it's like right in front of your face.
Yeah, and like, how could you not? Like, how could you, like, go through even just that finale episode, like the actual finale when it all broke, like knowing just how much your cast hated you, and like knowing the backlash that you even got immediately whenever that news broke, and still walk into this reunion the way that both Toms walked into this reunion, and the like, just the energy that they were giving. It's like, take a seat and just listen and let everybody be assholes to you and let everybody yell at you. Like, don't say anything because you have nothing good to say and nobody wants to hear it. Like, the fact that Tom Schwartz is gonna do his little penguin dance or whatever you call
Happy
it.
feet.
Happy feet, yes. But like, I mean, he's gonna do that regardless. But like, even Tom Sandoval, it's like, wow, like the level of narcissism that you going into the reunion know how much backlash you got and still decided to come in here and sit down and go on the defensive and take no accountability. Like, that was also wild to me, which I didn't like really think about until after I watched it again today, and I was like, that's ballsy. Like, that's insane. Like, I think he could have saved himself a little bit if he would have just like said nothing. Like, just don't say anything. Don't just open your mouth as little as possible.
Well, he can help himself.
Yeah, he has too much of an ego, and he has so much of an ego and so much of I've never been caught, and and like I've usually been able to figure out a way to talk myself out of things that he thinks that he can just do that again, and everyone will feel sorry for him, and like that, like this is just so much worse. Like it's not going to get any better for him. It's only going to get worse, and yeah, he's just got too big of an ego and just too much of it for him to ever give up like that.
Yeah. It's like he still thinks that he can still be the number one guy in the group. Like,
I never thought he was. Like, he
No.
decided that.
I never thought he was.
He did. Yeah.
You're right.
Well, I guess
You're right.
wasn't he the narcissistic one that claimed himself to be so?
Like, James has always, for like, I don't know, 2-3 seasons, he's been my favorite. No, that's not true.
No, I've always
he's kind of not nice.
Yeah,
but funniest. But yeah, I don't feel like I honestly never picked a number one guy. I picked a number one person, and I think that's because it was like you can't. Like up until season 10, it was hard to even pick James because some of the stuff he did.
Yeah, James's arc in this show is incredible.
He's just gonna go straight up.
Because the way that he kind of came in and then he like hit rock bottom and then he started to grow again, and then the whole Raquel thing happened, and then he went back down, and now he's been on this huge upswing that I just hope that like he doesn't James himself.
Yeah. I'm worried about his drinking. I think that's the only thing that concerns me. Like, I don't think it came too much to light this season because it wasn't really like he didn't get too much of the spotlight this season, but I'm like, it makes me worried, like, if we go into next season and hypothetical, like, both Toms aren't there, Raquel's maybe not there, like, what are they going to try to make this season about or show a lot of? And I'm just worried that they're going to try to portray him to be, like, the shitty person that he was back when he was drinking before. Like,
but if they lose James, they lose everything right now.
Right.
So hopefully that doesn't happen.
For sure. Yeah.
I hope.
That is true.
And I don't think Lala would let it happen either. Like,
no.
I think she would keep him in check enough.
Well, I also think that Allie is someone that tries to keep him in check as well. Yeah. Where Raquel she's off in the clouds 24/7, has no idea what's going on. And he has no self-awareness. To where I think Allie's going to help keep James on track, where Raquel just didn't care and she can't even keep herself on track. She couldn't keep James on track.
Yeah.
I have so many opinions about Raquel that I've had from day one.
Okay, well,
I will keep them as nice as possible.
Oh no, I'll hear them. I mean,
so from the very first scene,
I'm sure we all share the same opinion.
From the very first scene that we ever saw of her, my instant reaction was that this chick, like, behind the eyes, there's nothing.
You actually made me turn it off.
I made
you did.
I made Allison turn it off or skip ahead because I can't stand Raquel.
He was in the kitchen like making stuff or something, and he was like, her voice, shut it down now. And I was like, okay, all right.
Her voice, she sounds like she's so lost
and just
she's dumb. A deer in the headlights. Like her eyes instantly, like they just give of the fact that I'm here now. I wiggled my way into the group.
Right. She's terrified.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do now.
Right.
And that was an interesting thing that I had found out too. I had no idea that she was a fangirl of the show and she followed James around. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I should get down more in the weeds here, but
I'll send you some pods. I'll send you some pages and pods.
That's why I let Allison and you get down in the weeds for me. So like that's wow, I couldn't believe that. And so like I have another little conspiracy too for the end as well for Raquel.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Because I know you have 6 pages of notes.
I mean, well, I also and I can't keep. I'm trying to remember like what Allison and I've already talked about, and like because we had a brief 1 hour debrief. But like, but still, it was like the like LVP and like the whole dangerous comment. Like, come on. Like LVP
that was terrible.
Really. I mean, I can go on for her too. Like that is not right. I fully understand what Lala was trying to say. Like, and also like, okay, yeah, like I think I heard another podcast be like, obviously, like, yeah, he's not gonna murder Ariana. Like, he's not dangerous in that
There's
regard.
Different types.
Yes, yeah. And like we can still say cheating on someone is physically dangerous. I mean, I was saying that to Alan too. I'm like STDs, STIs, like that's something to be concerned about. Ariana deserves to know that. Like if she's sleeping in the same bed and sleeping with this person, like, and not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, financially, like that's insane. Like, and I kind of want to look at LVP and be like, imagine if Ken did this to you and blew up your entire world and dropped you to go be with his mistress, and like you were left to financially pick up the pieces and fend for yourself and cope mentally and emotionally from this trauma that he just put you through. Like, would you still be sitting here on this couch looking at Lala and being like, oh, well, no, he's not dangerous. Like, you can't call him like that's too harsh of a word. Like, come on. Like,
it's just the truth.
She tried to weaponize her words.
And I don't know, like Lala does use that word to describe like people she really loathes, but like a spade's a spade, call it what it is. Like he's dangerous psychologically. Like he is a scary person to be around and to put your trust in. And like I don't know how Ariana kind of woke up as fast as she did, and like the fact that she didn't self-blame at all is just so amazing to me, especially after you have 9 years of narcissistic abuse. Like she is extremely strong of a person to hold her own and still be like, okay, yeah, no, you didn't leave me, you lost me, and I'm good. Like, that was impressive.
It is really impressive. And that's one of the things that she kind of talked about on Call Her Daddy a little bit, like how it was really shitty of Sandoval to like use her mental illness against her. And it really sounds like she's like gotten even stronger like through this. And like Ariana, man, like she's a champ. She is I can't.
And to have to live with him. Like you got to sit on that stage and then go home.
Yeah.
And know he's there.
Yeah.
Right. Did you guys see though that she did move out the other day?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
That was like that was earlier this week. It was like Monday or so.
I thought it was kind of wild that she stayed as long as she did. Because if that was me, I would have been gone immediately.
Yeah. But like I get it though. Like what is she gonna do? Like, I mean, but I do get it on both sides. Like,
and they made it seem like financially they didn't really have a choice.
Yeah. That's kind of how I took it. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Like, I feel like you find a way, but I don't know if he owes that many people money. I don't know.
Well, she's trying to start a business too. I bet you they have a lot of money tied up in assets and real estate and all that stuff, but they don't have a lot of cash on hand.
Or like good credit to go get an apartment somewhere, maybe.
That
like,
probably ruined it.
Yeah, especially if they went in on the house together, like
they did.
So she absolutely is going to be brung down with him for everything that he did with the house, like in trying to get that bar going, all for it to go to the shitter.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ugh. So terrible.
Yeah. No, LVP really needs to pull her shit together because if Now, how do you guys think she's gonna act towards Raquel? That was one of my questions that I jotted down. Like, how do you think it's gonna go when Raquel
Indifferent.
comes out on this stage?
I think she's gonna like ignore her. And I don't think she's gonna say anything if people bully her. I don't think she's gonna care.
Yeah, I feel like in
when
this
it comes to the babies, she
and I don't think there's no way that I think Lisa kind of like went in there with a plan of how she thought she had control and how it was going to go. And then I feel like as it goes, like Lisa's like the handcuffs are going to come off. And I think whatever handcuffs Lisa like put on herself, she's just going to go. And I think she does go after Raquel in the next episode. Like,
you think she's going to go off on her?
I think so. That's just that's my prediction. That's one of my predictions is that Lisa's going to have her say at Raquel, and Raquel is just gonna be like, well, I only knew how to do pageants.
Now, do you think LVP is gonna be able to get it in before James and Lala goes in on Raquel?
Oh, absolutely not.
I'm worried about it being like what it was this episode, like how James and Raquel went 100 from the beginning.
Lala.
Or I'm sorry, yes, Lala and James went 100 in on Tom from the get-go, and I'm worried that, well, not worried, I hope they do it to Raquel from the get-go, but like I'm worried that then LVP is going to be like, stop, like let her talk, like trying to like kind of referee, but like also like it just comes across whenever she does it like the defensiveness of the Toms, and I'm just worried that that's what. But maybe if LVP can do it first, it will be better. I don't know.
So I imagine that she probably will, just for the sake that it's like her damn show. Like she's gonna try to referee in the beginning just to get it so that like they are not exploding off the stage. But like I don't think that's gonna matter. And I think that like as it goes and the more I think that Raquel's going to dig herself in a worse hole, even worse than what it already is. She's going to open mouth, insert foot, and whole leg, and it's just going to piss Lisa off.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like throughout the seasons, Lisa has always given preferential treatment to the older cast members, where she doesn't give to the newer cast members. I don't think she really cares about Raquel that much. It's a lot of indifference.
Yeah,
so
that too.
If they're going to go off on her, she's kind of going to let it happen.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, that too, and the fact that like Raquel was like, wasn't she late and stuff like that to some of the?
Yeah,
so
because she was over at Tom Sandoval's house.
Right, she's already pissed off at Raquel. Right, so
she's never respected Raquel though.
No.
Well, how can you?
But even before, like all of this,
like I can't.
I know you always.
I never. Like yeah, it just like. Just look at her face, like she just looks.
Stop.
Okay.
That nice.
I mean, the poor girl just can't put her brain cells together, get a coherent thought out.
The two that are like, I imagine it's like the two little brain cells. Like, what's that old like '80s game where like the little ball like that?
It's an Atari.
Is that what
game,
it is?
Yeah.
Like, I just imagine like
70s.
seven. Yeah, it's just like bouncing around the screen in her brain. Just like
ding, ding,
that's the one
ding,
brain cell that's working its hardest. Oh, I also saw another well, obviously the other James quote, poo poo heads, both of you, poo poo heads.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
I mean, that one needs to get the credit it deserves. A worm with a mustache, what a great one. There's a turd talking, that was another one that I read.
Yes.
That was great.
I still can't get over the fact that he said, "You've done this over Tom Sandoval's cocky cock."
Oh my god, I know.
Yeah, like what?
40-year-old cocky cock. Like,
yeah, his, like Sandoval's 40-year-old dirty cock. Like what? Like what? He made an emphasis to say that.
Stinky.
Like yes.
And I feel like that's accurate.
Yes.
If you look at him, it definitely is stinky.
Yes, the scene where he sat down to talk with Sheena, like the end of the finale episode, when he sat down to talk with Sheena, I was like, he looks greasy and stinky.
Yeah.
Like his holes in his jeans. Like I'm not saying that's like any indicator of anything, but he just looked disgusting. And I was like, come on, like you're filming try a
But he's
little
playing
bit.
it.
Like,
It's like he's trying to play into it.
right.
Like, I'm too
right.
sad to shower. Like, no, you're just
Right, yes.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I
Like,
feel like he's always kind of looked like that too.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
that's-
default,
that's
like,
true.
Just to be fair, he's always kind of looked like that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
He's
whiny.
so gross.
The
Yeah.
there was an interesting there was one thing that I did want to mention. So Andy's pre-show sit down.
Mhm.
The one quote that I found in there to be very interesting was whenever he said, "I felt like Ariana's gay best friend."
Oh, yes. I also wrote that down.
That was
Yes.
an interesting quote because I also and I guess I'm going back to Jax again because I have no like how can you Jax is gonna scorch earth on him now, but that was one of the questions was why is like everyone obviously knew that Sandoval was flamboyant, but he also was kind of saying like, well, we always have to anytime we were going to a party or something, we had to drag. It didn't matter what it was, but like
Mhm.
he was like, I that was never my thing, but like why like and for him to keep referencing like I'm just Ariana's gay best friend all the time, like you don't just start saying that.
But at one point he said he was jealous of the gay best friend. So what do you want? You want to be it or you don't? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was just
Yeah,
an interesting quote that
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might
What
not
were you
all
gonna-
be with he might not have cheated with all of his cheating
Just
might
with-
not have just with women.
Well,
and that's totally fine.
yeah.
That's totally fine
Yeah.
too.
But
I'm
own
not
it.
saying that's what I'm saying. Own it. Like he's not willing to own
right.
anything.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not fine that he cheated. That's
Right.
not
Yeah.
what I was saying.
No. That's what I was trying to say. Like just like
Right.
if you like you've done it, like own up to it now. Like and he's not
Right.
gonna do it. But I just
Right.
thought that was a really interesting quote from that. That was one of the first things I wrote down.
Yeah. Yeah. I even saw somebody being like, that's like, you're insulting the gay best friend. Like,
For
Right.
like that's
real.
insulting to the gay best friend. Like,
Yeah.
they were the ones that were spending the quality time with her that you weren't. Like, they were the ones that were hanging out with her and doing the things that she wanted to do and like be a good friend to her that you
Mhm.
couldn't be to her, like that you were refusing to be to her because you were too busy with your stupid band and like doing all of your other stupid shit. Like it's like
That
like you can't be like, oh well, I felt this. Like I think like you said, Allison, like I think he wished he was like had as close of a relationship with her that
And sing
the
Beyonce.
gay friends had. Yeah.
I disagree. I think he was more upset because he wasn't getting the relationship that he wanted, and by almost getting the
Oh,
relationship
like
that
resentment towards
yeah,
friend.
because if
Yeah.
he did the things that she wanted to and doing this quality time that she wanted, he felt more like a best friend than if he wanted instead of getting the relationship that he wanted, where he could have felt like her boyfriend because they wanted two separate things. So by doing the things
Oh.
that she wanted and her how she felt the relationship should go, he felt more like her gay best friend because he couldn't dictate the relationship. That's how I kind of took it.
Oh, yeah.
I was
true.
thinking you were gonna say like he felt like resentment towards the friends that she was hanging out
No,
with.
I think he resented her.
Hmm.
I don't think he cared about the friends at all. It was that he
Yeah.
wasn't getting the relationship that he wanted.
Yeah.
right.
I think he's jealous of her too.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
Yeah.
I think he's jealous of the fact that she was okay alone. Like he was
Right.
trying to drive her to leave because Sandoval can't be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so he assumes no one else can be alone. So he
Right.
thought if I just let her alone and ignore her long enough, she'll go away. I don't think
Right.
he realized like, oh shit, she's fine by herself. She doesn't need me. So she'll wait for me to get
Yeah.
done with this bar until I'm ready to, come home. And now he's like pissed at her for like, well, why didn't you like leave whenever I was like mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Because you're in a relationship and people make
Right.
mistakes.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Oh. Well, oh yeah, that was the other thing on the episode today, or like the one with like the extra scenes in it. Like they were cutting to like the parallels between, and I can't remember if this was in the one from last night or not.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay. It was, they were cutting to like the parallels between, because Lala brought it up. Lala was saying everything that you were saying now is the same stuff that you said about Kristen back then. And then he was like, oh no. And Lisa was even like, no, like and how would you know? Like, you weren't even on the show then. And Lala's like, I watched it. Like, get over it. Like, I watched it. I saw it. And both Lisa and Tom Sandoval still sat there and kept being like, well, that's different. Like, what you watch is different than like actually what was happening. And then Ariana chimes in and was like, oh, no, I watched it too. I lived it with you. And there are parallels. And then they cut to scenes of like him literally being like, oh, well, Kristen's grandfather just died. And we have like tickets to go to a concert, and like all of his excuses for not breaking the news to her, like that he wanted to break up with her, like the same excuses that we're hearing now with Ariana of like, well, her dog just died and her grandma just died, and like I can't, she's going through too tough of a time. Yeah, that was a big one. Like he said that about Kristen too. Like, well, we haven't been intimate in how long? And Kristen's like, okay, well, I didn't go fuck around and like sleep with other people, and like same shit, like different person, like with Ariana, same thing. Like it was just wild the way they like paired up the scenes, and it's like, oh my gosh, he is insane. Like he literally said word for word and did the same bullshit that he pulled with Kristen that he's doing now with Ariana. Like
it's just his cycle.
Yeah.
I thought you were telling her to hurry up.
No.
I was about to.
Oh my gosh.
When I looked over and he was doing that with his hands, I was like, if you rush her.
No, it's his cycle.
All right.
It's his cycle that he continuously goes through.
Throwing hands over.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's grown. And how many years?
Not,
the same person that he was when they first
real. What did I say to? I think I said it to you too, Allison. Like he's emotionally like 16 years old, and so is Raquel, and that's honestly probably why they get along.
12. He's like 12.
Yeah,
he's like 8.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to have sex with someone that I love. Like, okay,
what?
Pick someone else. What?
Yeah. And like, how can you actually sit there and be like, this is love? Like, what? No.
How about that scene where whenever she thought that Tom said I love you, but he said they'll love you?
Cringe.
How embarrassing.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
So cringy.
That whole scene of her and them in her apartment, he called her Ariana too. That just made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The wheels were coming off.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up a good point too, because I didn't even realize it, but like none of the other cast members got to film with her in that finale episode. So literally when they see her at the reunion, this is going to be the first, I heard it, I think it was on Lala's podcast or Sheena's, somebody brings it up of like, we never got closure from Raquel when this all happened. Like when this was all breaking and cameras picked back up, Raquel only talked and filmed one scene with Tom, and that was it. There was no other. Sheena got no closure. There was no scenes with Ariana. So it's like, get ready.
She texted Ariana.
But
So we talked about it earlier about how like Sandoval he left and then came back and started yelling at everybody like they were having a party at Ariana's like after it happened. Yeah. So that scene apparently, so Ariana said in Call Her Daddy that like that scene where they said that where the I love you and he called her Ariana, that was in between, that happened right after they broke up and he left, and then he came back and stormed in and started yelling at everybody, and like so when you line up the timeline, like that just such a so cringe.
He's foul. He is a foul human being, and like no, we do not. I could care less if I see him next season or not. Like
for real.
And that's just based on this one episode. Like I can't can't even imagine.
So speaking of like next season, what do we have? Do we have any what are your guys' predictions for next week's show?
What do you guys think this big thing is? Like the big secret that happens or whatever's revealed that people are saying they might not want to do the show?
I don't know. I think it's gonna well, yeah, you and I did talk about this a little bit last night. Yeah, what did you use?
I'm convinced that this is not the first time that they've had an affair. I think they've definitely slept with each other before, like this August thing has happened. Yeah. I think it's gonna come out that they've been hooking up since around their whole Rotella thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's been around that time. It's been inconsistent, but I feel like they've been at least like some sort of like friends with benefits kind of deal, and it just got a lot more serious like around August.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason she left James. I don't think she would have been strong enough to leave James if it wasn't for Sandoval being there.
I don't think she would have thought to.
Yeah.
Wouldn't occur.
That's actually a really good prediction. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. No, I
that
like
seems
that
believable. Like that seems believable that it would have been.
You didn't think that it went on for longer than what they told us?
I didn't think it would have went that far back.
Oh,
I guess.
You listen to me talk ever?
No,
I was saying that for like all week. Like
I know you said that to me. Are you sure you didn't say it to me?
No,
or did you say it to him too? Okay.
Yeah, no, because I was trying to prep him for this because he doesn't watch all of it. So I was like, and here's you know what I think. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. But like, I mean, listen a little harder.
Trying.
I know.
So Allison and I. Well, what's your prediction, Taylor?
Yeah, no, I go along that lines too. Like, it's just gonna be, but like for it to be something so bad that it might detriment, like, or might make a play on like who's gonna, if people might not even want to come back next season. I'm kind of like, that doesn't seem that hard hitting.
I think they're hyping that up for ratings. I don't think it's going to be as big as they think it is. That's how it always, I feel like with reality TV, it's always kind of underwhelming to hype it up too much.
Okay.
It's never as big as they think it is.
Because
I feel like it's Alan's prediction and the fact that Lisa knew sooner. And she's kind of the head of all of it. So if they feel like she has betrayed them, that's the only reason I could see them not coming back.
Yeah. Oh, that's a very good point. That is, I'm going with that. I agree with Allison, and also what you said, Alan. Like, I do think so too. I think it's a
very layered.
Of those things. Yeah. Because what else could it be that it would be so much of a bombshell that would make a cast member not want to come back? Because like even Sheena was kind of like on her one podcast, like, oh, like, yeah, we all hate them, but I mean, and it's not like we would invite them to lunches to film a scene or something, but we're also not like, I'm not filming with them at all. Like, she's like, we all, exactly. It's a job. She's like, I don't know. But yeah, no, that would be a good point. I think it probably does have to be something, such a betrayal like that, with it being LVP based. What do you think? What were you going to say, John? What were your thoughts?
I don't know. I really like both of the. I think it is going to be layered, and I think what both of you said. Like, I don't think I could say it any better than what both of you said. I think I have a prediction of something that might happen that's not related to the big like secret that comes out. But Allison and I were talking about this before we started recording. Is that this? So, and even Allison talked about this in the beginning. What they've showed us so far isn't the worst. The best is yet to come. I feel.
You mean like the physical altercations?
The physical altercations, like even the dirt, like all the everything. Like, this is the tip of the iceberg that we saw last night, and it's going to get way deeper and it's going to get way more violent. Maybe not violent, like they're going to fight or whatever, but it's like word. It's going to be like violent word play that's going to happen. And I think that the prediction that Allison and I kind of were crafting in our mind is that Sandoval and Schwartz are going to come to blows at some point, because Schwartz might get so uncomfortable that he might snap. And there was something about the whole January, August thing that I felt like Sandoval was like really mad at him.
Right. Like, really
mad.
And that was like the beginning of the filming. So you said, if it keeps piling up,
it's that's my prediction, is that it's gonna keep piling on Schwartz, and Schwartz is just gonna be like, fuck it, like, fuck you, dude, like, you've done this to you did this to me, you did this to all of us, and you're bringing me down with it, and that's the only thing that can save Schwartz at this point, honestly. If Schwartz wants to come back on the redemption seat, like, that's if he wants to come to Redemption Island, like that's the only
Yeah.
way he can get
But see,
there.
the thing is, though, is I don't know that Schwartz is going to initiate it.
No, it's not going to
He
be.
doesn't
Yeah.
initiate anything.
No, he's
so
going to have to
he's
be.
Sandoval's probably, if it were to happen, Sandoval's going to come after him, and then he's probably going to do whatever Schwartz does, and people are going to be like, "Really, Schwartz?"
Yeah, and well, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
I hope
too.
that's not what happens, but I just have that feeling.
Well, no, that's like kind of what you said. There is always what happens. Like Sandoval goes to Schwartz, Schwartz shrugs his shoulders, and then everyone's like, "Really, Schwartz?" Like,
Yeah.
Well, I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna bring Raquel out. James and Lala are gonna press her on the timeline. She's gonna give way more than they all thought that she was gonna give, like Tom and Tom are gonna give.
yeah,
Then Tom Sandoval is gonna get upset, yell at Schwartz to kind of back him up. Schwartz is gonna dance around because he doesn't want to give an answer, and then they're gonna get all pissed off at each other because no one's gonna have Sandoval's back that he's caught in a lie about his time being all off.
You're so smart. Like, yeah, because she's the dumbest. So like,
exactly.
she'll sit there and just spew and won't
Right.
think before she
Even if
talks.
he coached her in as much as he
Yeah,
thought he
she's
did,
too
she's still
dumb.
gonna
So-
yeah.
So instead of projecting it on Raquel, he's going to project it on Schwartz.
Mhm.
Do we
Yes.
think that did we see anything that like Raquel and Sandoval like the cracks form in their relationship too over this?
Not
like
yet.
not yet. It's too soon.
No.
Are they even together present day?
No one knows.
No one knows.
We don't
Guess
know.
we'll find. I guess we'll
Yeah.
find out.
No one knows. I don't know what people think. I think everybody
Yeah.
has a different opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what they tried to say they were broken up last week when the finale aired.
Yeah.
Like that was like the attempt at something from one of their sides, and it's
Or
like,
they weren't
no,
putting
nobody-
a label on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
something.
yeah.
What did she say on her Instagram that she needs to be alone? Or I don't.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah. No,
That was all
they're-
PR crafted, probably. Anyways.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Like literally, they all just need to shut their mouths. Like Tom,
Just go
Tom,
away.
and
Mhm.
Raquel. Like
Yeah.
stop talking. Like just don't talk. Yes or no answers. like don't elaborate.
Well, I don't think
Like-
Tom Sandoval can stop himself from talking
No.
because I
Oh,
think
yeah,
he loves
no.
the attention. That's why he's out touring. I
Yeah.
think he doesn't care that it's negative attention.
No.
He loves the booze,
Yeah.
the cheers, whatever he's gonna get.
Right.
Any
Yeah.
attention he gets is just
It's
pure,
good attention.
pure
Yeah.
adrenaline for
Right.
him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Agreed.
Wow.
No.
Alan provided some great.
For real.
Alan provided some great audio tonight. That prediction was like couldn't have been
Yeah.
crafted any better.
No.
Yeah.
He's analyzing
Yeah.
this reality TV.
Uh-huh.
We're just watching it.
Yeah. Alan's playing chess. We're playing
For
checkers.
real.
Oh,
what-
I also wrote down that I think Lala should be a Real Housewife. She should get her own something or other because she carried it. She carried this whole. I think. I mean, obviously, it was her and James.
What
together,
if that's
but,
what
like,
they do? Because we
That
all
would be
hate
amazing.
the guys,
Right.
and Allie can be a housewife, and then James will
Right.
still be on, and
Real
they get rid
Housewives
of Pump.
WeHo.
Yeah,
And they just turned instead of Housewives of Beverly Hills, like they do like Housewives of Pump.
of scorned women
Yeah.
or something.
Right.
Scorned.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I just like and all of her comments like none of us were fucking our best friends, man. Like all of them. She was like she is someone that I look up to, just like her she's so quick-witted. Like she's
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
able to just come back with zingers. Like no
And owns everything.
Yes. Yeah,
Everything.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like yes, I
She's-
cheated, but I wasn't cheating with my best friend's man. Like we
Mhm.
can't even compare to the two because it's not the same. Like
Yeah,
oh,
I still just can't believe how much they tried to try to draw parallels, and they're
right.
not even remotely in the same league.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh.
No, it made no sense. But she held her own though. Like her and James, I think they all did a fantastic job at being like, fuck you. Like you're not gonna try to do this right now. Like we're gonna set it straight. Like that's what
Mhm.
I'm like, man. And Raquel does not even know what's coming for her. Like she
Yeah.
is
She's gonna be thrown into the fire.
yeah, she is ill equipped for this reunion.
Is she ever equipped for any?
I mean,
reunion?
no, but like,
So,
like she was
the-
not.
The other thing that was interesting, and I know that Allison watches the show. One of the things that people want to know. No, it's coming.
face.
Not this actual
Okay.
show. So the other rumor out there was that Raquel became such a fan because she was a fan of this show, and that it was rumored that her favorite show was Euphoria, and that she was going to become like that. She watched that latest season of Euphoria with the one I
I
can't
get it.
yeah, so
Mhm.
they were going to ask her if she watched Euphoria to see, because the way that it played out was exactly like kind of what happened in Euphoria.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't. Can she like
I don't know.
actually comprehend what she sees on a show to repeat it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, apparently, I mean, she got on this show somehow, so
She
she's
didn't
got
have
to
to
be that
memorize
smart.
anything. She had to pick a person and follow them.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we believe like the whole pregnancy thing?
Not a bit.
No, I don't
No.
believe it. I think that was just
Yeah.
hearsay to spark up more interest in it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
spark up more hype on the train.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think that like what Alan said, that it's not going to be as bad. They've hyped it too much that it's going to be a letdown, or we're going to miss it completely.
Right.
Not we're going to miss it completely, but it's going to like be like that's really what it was. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's going to
Mhm.
pass so quickly.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, well, do you guys have anything else you want to go over?
Oof. I don't think so. I mean, I think that touched on, I'm looking through my my papers here, but I think that touched on all my highlighted points. I mean, those were like the biggest hitters, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
if we all had to say who our favorite person was this episode.
It was James by a mile.
Oh yeah, James
Yeah.
for Heisman.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
It's James and James for the funniness and Lala for the quick
Mhm.
quips back. Like
Yeah.
she really like fought the fight. Like she was going
She said
in.
everything that everybody else wanted to say.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like she led that side of the room of
Yeah.
just like, no, like let me set it straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. That was my other question. How many times do you think James is gonna get up and leave the next episode?
Oh, at
I
least
don't know.
I don't know. He might do. I'm gonna say I'll take the over on 2.
Can I? Okay, this might not make the show, whatever, but I turned on closed captioning and it still didn't pick it up. I swear at one point Lala said, "Did you not take your Adderall this morning?"
Oh no, she for sure did.
Oh, yeah.
and
she
that's
did.
how he's
Yeah.
acting. Like anyone that wants to say he's drunk or like he's coked out, like that is pure, just like cannot
Right.
sit still.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's trying, and he's actually kind of trying. Like you can kind of, he's like scooting up,
Right.
scooting back, trying real hard,
Right.
and like he's not being hateful. He's interrupting in like such
Right.
a 5-year-old, like, well, you're a poo-poo head. Like it's just so like
Yeah.
you didn't take your meds this morning, did you, bud? Like
Yeah.
just now.
Yeah, because it was whenever he came back in from like the first attempted fight and he had walked out and they were like, James, just sit in the fucking chair.
Yeah.
Like, just sit down. And then that's when, because that's when she said it. And they were all just, and the Andy's like standing over him, just like, do not get out of your chair.
Yes, the way that Andy sat in his face and said, "Sit your ass down and don't get out of the fucking chair." Like I thought that was one of the best scenes of the whole show.
Yes, yeah. Oh my gosh, for sure.
That was Andy's inner dad coming out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if that's, I think we covered everything. Hopefully we covered everything on Taylor's 6 pages of notes.
Yes, I'm sorry. I will not go as hard. How
No,
long is
do
this
it.
episode
No.
supposed to be?
We need
Was this
6
too
pages.
long?
No.
Okay.
No.
He usually
Oh,
sits up there for 3 hours.
Oh,
Not three-
okay.
not
Okay.
three.
Good.
I mean, the longest podcast that I have recorded is over 5 hours.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That makes me feel better.
You're
I
fine.
told Alan, I was like, if I get long-winded or anything, just like slap my leg or something. So
No, this is a content-driven business.
Okay, good.
Yeah, well, thank you both for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Allison, for coming back.
Thank you.
And we will be back for part 2 that we are very much awaiting.
yeah.
That's the only thing that I hate about this is that I wish that they just gave us a 3-hour special and we had to sit through it all.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing
Like
that really
a pay-per-view.
sucks. Yes.
Yeah.
It would imagine if they did the raw uncut version on paper.
That's what I'm saying. I would pay anything for that. Give me like a DVD, like Allison was saying, a full DVD set of just all of it. All of it. Your CCTV cuts too. Like I want it all. Like I would watch every second of it. Love it.
Missed opportunities.
Yes, for sure.
But make sure you check us out on Twitter and Instagram at _Podski. Check us out on Facebook at the Podski with John Baker, and also as well check us out on YouTube. There will be a visual version up here. You won't see our faces, but you will see the pretty graphics that are up there as well. So be sure to check us out next week for the part 2 edition of the reunion, and we will see you next time on the Podski.